NightCap recap. What up, players?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is the NightCap recap here on Special Team Media. I'm your host, Jim Biringer, alongside my tag team partner, Teddy Repantis. We are back and better than ever. We've got a lot to discuss. It's going to be a heavily filled wrestling episode as we're getting into the Elimination Chamber WrestleMania season. But we're going to, obviously touch on the Olympics again, some NFL notes, and that's about it. I just want to shout out before Teddy comes on here. We are big mental health advocates on this program. Please check on your friends, check on your bros. How you doing? Rondell Moore, RIP. You don't know the battle somebody else is dealing with. So Guy Law took his life. We don't want to see that. Go get some help.
Absolutely, Jimmy. I was going to say, always great to be here recording the NightCap recap with you, and I'm glad you kicked it off with that. Big advocates of mental health, men's mental health, everything, any kind of mental health. Doesn't have to just be men's mental health here on this program. I hate coming on here. We've done it a couple times, it seems, in the past year where a young athlete, football player, anybody from any realm takes their own life. And, you never want to speculate what somebody's going through. But what you just said, reach out to your bros, your buddies. Hey, how you doing? You don't know how far a text. Hey, thinking about you. This made me think of you. Hope you're doing okay. Doesn't have to be more than that. Just that little thing can make somebody's day and keep them going for another day. So, I saw the videos and everything, and it's just a shame. Way too young at 25. So, rest in peace, Rondell Moore.
Yeah, great receiver. He was going to have a hell of a career. I know some injury-plagued seasons, but he was a stud wide receiver in college, and just a shame to see that. Never easy transition. But we got, obviously you guys saw it yesterday. On Monday, Ryan Payton, talked about the Olympics obviously from the United States side. He's from the north of the border, but we had a really good conversation about everything about the game. Obviously Team USA still living off the high of Sunday, win the gold medal, first gold medal at the Olympics since 1980. They came up short a couple of times before in 2002 and 2010 to the rivals up north. USA Hockey's come along such a long way, but what a game. Over 20 million people watched the game, 26 million people throughout Peacock, NBC, USA replays, all that stuff. I mean, just a great day to be a member of USA Hockey, just a feel-good moment. And I know you guys are texting in the group chat. Guys that normally don't talk about hockey were jacked up about this one.
Yeah, absolutely, Jimmy. I caught the first two periods. I didn't catch the third, and I caught overtime. So I know in the third period there was an amazing save that I completely missed. But I saw the highlight. That was incredible. That I couldn't believe. If you're looking at a still shot photo of this, it looks like this puck is going into the net, and it's incredible that it was saved. So hats off to the goalie, and I'm going to mess up his name.
Connor Hellebuck, yeah.
Thank you, because I'm going to mess up his last name.
I'll do the hockey names for you.
Thank you. I'm going to mess up his name. Stood on his head. How many saves did he have? He was in the 40s?
41 out of 42 saves that he had.
And I'm not a hockey guy, but a lot of me watching that game is if this guy didn't play the game of his life, I don't know if the USA comes through with the victory here, because Canada definitely, obviously they're the hated rival here, right? And they always have our number. But it seemed like if he didn't have the game of his life, Canada was going to take this one. So always proud to watch, especially these Olympics have been really fun to watch throughout these Winter Olympics. Yeah. When something like this happens where the entire country can get together and unite as a front together, it makes you feel good. It was awesome to watch. I don't care if I'm a Rangers fan. I don't care if Jack Hughes scoring that goal is going to be remembered forever. It's amazing. What a play. Like kids, and Tirico said it best, Mike Tirico, post-game. Kids that are watching this now are going to be like, hey, like, let's dream. Let's be the next. Let's go make the dream come true. We want to play Olympic hockey. And this is just going to set forth like what hockey's going to be going forward. So incredible, man. What an awesome, I watched it with my parents. Awesome feeling to watch that. As a non-hockey fan that loves watching Olympic sports, it was incredible, man.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was a great moment. Like Tirico said it best, like what a run for him. He did Super Bowl into Olympics. Shout out Kenny Albert too, calls the gold medal game for the women who won 2-1 over Canada as well. But the young ladies are going to be doing the Megan Keller goal. You hope out in the street, the guys are going to be like Jack Hughes, similar to what we saw in Canada with like the Henderson goal, Bobby Orr, like things that stuff, the grassroots level. for hockey. But the fact of the matter, like people that don't normally talk hockey are talking hockey, whether they know anything about the game and want to talk about it when the National Hockey League is going on is another matter. But I won't be a hockey elitist. I'm going to keep my comments to myself when I see things that are not correct, because I want the game to grow and I don't want to be an elitist when it comes to it. I'll point some stuff out that is wrong. And some of the complaining and the whining, how they lost this and that, I'll bring facts into it, rules and things like that. Like, Ryan and I talked about the talent isn't on par with Canada. I believe so. I mean, I watch a lot more hockey than a lot of people do. I watch the World Juniors. I watch World Championships on both sides, U18s. I do a lot of scouting. I can tell you right now, Team USA and USA Hockey is on par with Canada's development right now. And you're seeing it true with the college system. A lot of their top-tier players are coming to play college hockey. So what does that say about the U.S. college game right now, that those top-tier players in Canada want to come down to the States?
Absolutely, Jimmy. I mean, the whole point here is to grow the game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and to get yourself –
I feel like from a hockey perspective, somebody who follows it feels like this is what could catalyst them past the NBA even further and maybe Major League Baseball.
Well, dude, listen, as someone who big NBA guy, like, growing up and maybe the last 10, 15 years, I told you recently the game's been very difficult to watch, even as a fan. It's just a 3-point contest to me. Guys aren't really playing defense. They're playing defense when they want to or at the end of the game. For hockey to surpass the NBA, I think if the quality continues to dip in the NBA product, and things like this, where the Team USA is winning big tournaments, Olympic golds, worlds, that's going to grow the interest here in the States. And that's going to be great for future generations that are playing this game. Like Tarico said it, the failures of 2010 spawned what we got today in 2026. I saw a tweet that somebody put out in 2011. I don't know if I sent it to you. A guy said, hey, this was the most kids we had sign up to play junior hockey. And he's like, watch out for Olympics 2026 when these kids are of age. And look what happened. They won a gold. So take a look at that. This is spawning more kids wanting to play the game. It's great.
Well, the USA Hockey's had a lot of moments in their life, right? I think 1980, obviously, 1996 World Cup of Hockey. We were young kids then, but Mike Richter, Brian Leach, Tony Amonte, Keith Kitchuk, Bill Guerin, who's the GM of this team. They went up. They were down 1-0 in a best-of-3 series, go up to Canada, win the final 2 games. Richter had it unbelievable. They fell in 2002. They fell in 2010. But again, if you follow the ranking and you saw the World Junior teams of 2013, 2017, 2021, a lot of this group is together. A lot of the guys, like, McAvoy was on that 2013 team. You had Tage Thompson was on 2017. Johnny Gaudreau, who was no longer with us, but, was there in spirit. He's always going to be a part of USA Hockey, right? Like, this was coming. And people are going to say, oh, no, this is, we upset them. I was like, guys, you need to go watch the game, not just at the NHL level. Because if you did, you knew this was coming. Like, this team was favorite. This group had something to prove. I said it in a tweet. I said, and it took off on Twitter that day during the game. I said, this group, this era of USA Hockey, when John Carlson scored in 2010, where they've become the second best nation in hockey, they've done it all. From on the women's side, they've done it all on the men's side except one thing: win Olympic gold. They have to flip the script. And they did. And they won. It's pretty much the same team that lost at 4 Nations. And that really helped the NHL going into the playoffs. My biggest thing with the hockey, I want it talked about more, not just in these moments. We have a trade deadline coming up. I want that to be talked about. I want about player movement. I want to talk about off-season signings. Like, there was such a missed opportunity, in my opinion. And again, I don't work for ESPN. I have friends that are there. But my biggest thing is when you have a guy like Connor McDavid entering the face of the National Hockey League right now, entering his final year of his contract with a contract extension, this was big news in the National Hockey League. It took up the entire summer, and it really was rarely talked about. That's also how you grow the game.
Yeah, the coverage, right?
The coverage.
Right, yeah.
Coverage needs to be better.
Absolutely. ESPN, are you listening?
Look, it's not just ESPN; it's sports talk radio, and I know what sells, the football and all this stuff. But right now, not a lot of people give a crap about the combine. I'm being honest.
It's a downtime. I know the NFL has pretty much monopolized the sports calendar at this point to be a 24/7, 365 sport. But in this downtime post Super Bowl until about mid spring, early summer, this is where the NHL should capitalize. And like you said, other outlets need to capitalize on the coverage of the sport just to grow the game even more.
And do it justice, not like hot take machine. Not like all this stuff. Not make it like just have this for clips and stuff. I get it. That's also helps because it gets eyeballs on things. But actually talk about it. Bring up trade deadline. Bring up free agency. Who's available? Like there was a crop of guys that could have been talked about entering final year of your deal. Like the Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel just signed a new extension. Could have talked about him. Could have talked about all these guys. Like that's the kind of stuff because it seems like the NBA gets that kind of coverage on ESPN. And the NFL, it's constant in the summer. Like,
well, they got nothing else to talk about. They got to make up topics. They got to have these.
But the NHL's in a free agency time too before the season, so you could be talking about that. These are little suggestions to make it better. I'm not trying to be a hockey elitist. I'm just saying, to me, that's where the coverage could get better.
There's nothing wrong with saying you want some equal coverage. I mean, Jimmy, there's nothing wrong with that. You're not elitist by saying that. We both understand what gets more ratings, what sells. But if you want the game to grow, you have to push it. I mean, that's the only way to do it. And another thing I want to bring up was Gaudreau having his family there, right? And his kids to come out at the very end and take the team photo with his jersey. We know the whole story there. I know the story. As a non-hockey fan, I know all about it. That brought a tear to my eye watching that because I was emotional. That's what sports brings out. I mean, it's a shame to think, these two young kids not really knowing what's going on too much, obviously, but they're going to forever have that moment and be able to look back on it. That's what gets you in the heartstrings. So I thought that was a nice touch with the jersey, with the flag, family, kids. That was great, man. That was a great moment, I think.
Yeah, and that's the stuff we got to talk about. Like that, we talk about that stuff. We're not going to get into the other BS about all the other garbage that's on social media when it comes to what happened on Sunday. Because there's way too much garbage going on with that stuff. Let these guys celebrate however they want to celebrate. They want a gold medal, all that stuff. Like I'd be partying too. I'm gonna be honest. Like if I want a gold medal for Team USA, I'd be doing the same thing. Like I'm not gonna lie.
The best video I saw is the one I sent you guys today. They went and enjoyed themselves at an adult establishment. The national anthem was played, and everybody was standing up saluting Old Glory. So that was great.
That was great. So great moment for USA Hockey. Great moment at the Olympics. Thought the Winter Olympics was awesome. Most medals for Team USA at a Winter Olympics. Most gold medals for them. And we, obviously Norway just dominated like always, but Klæbo on the skis, that guy's a freak. That guy's a freak. 6 golds in cross country skiing, freak. But I thought they're very enjoyable. I thought all the Olympic coverage was great. Thought it was probably the best NBC has done in such a long time, giving everybody using USA to their advantage and showing different events and not just like always highlighting figure skating and all that stuff. Because I think that did turn off a lot of people from the Olympics when they would just show the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah, agreed. And we talked about Lindsey Vonn. She had to get what happened to her and everything. But I agree. I saw figures, and I don't know what country this was. They did a Mortal Kombat homage on their figure skating. I mean, that's awesome. You got to love that. Right. I mean, but I agree. I think who was it? Alyssa Liu.
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, she got the gold, and that was a big deal, and it brought in a lot of viewers. So you're right. I think the coverage was really well done this time. NBC has stepped it up here, even with their coverage of the NBA has been better, and they got the Olympics now too. Like this was great.
By the way, shout out. I believe 2030. I know it's a long ways away for a lot of people, but I was scoping the sports calendar just for fun after the game.
Yeah.
So gold medal game is the same day as the Super Bowl potentially in 2030.
Really?
If the NFL expands to the 18 games and they push it to President's Day weekend like they want to,
So would the Olympics be going on during that time then?
So it would be Olympics, gold medal game into Super Bowl because NBC has the game. Because NBC would have the game.
Because the Olympics did start before the Super Bowl finished this year, right? Because did they go right? Yeah, because Tirico was just like, "Hey, the game's over. We're going right to the Olympics." After
because the Olympics kind of started the week of media week. The Olympics started media week, and then he was on a plane to Milan. So
can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine that the Super Bowl, Olympics, all that going on at the same time?
That would be crazy. But look, hats off Team USA. Check out the link. Check out the show. It was fun. Talk about it with Ryan. We killed it.
You and Ryan did a great job. Awesome stuff, man.
Yeah, it was fun. Let's turn our attention here, NFL, real quick. Before, like I said, we dive into wrestling. Obviously, Combine's going on. Javonte Williams got paid Dallas. Dallas doing something early, Lefty. They actually did something early for once.
I was amazed when this news came through. Our buddy Kevin Lacey sends me the news. Big Cowboys fan, says, "Hey, look, we actually signed a good player to a somewhat longer term deal." This is great by Dallas because Javonte had a career resurgence, had one of his best years, 2 years removed from a devastating ACL injury with Denver. Turns it around here with Dallas. And now, look, they have the running back position locked in. Pickens is going to get the tag. CeeDee is there. Dak is locked in. This offense, I think, is going to be, again, a top 5 unit next season. It's going to come down to what are you going to do on defense? What are you going to do with game clock management? Can you win the big games when the time comes? We know what Dallas is going to be. They're going to be in the mix. Signing Javonte Williams finally will give kudos to the organization for making a right move here.
And now I think, and if Pickens gets the tag, that's fine. But I know he's looking for a longer term deal. Maybe they get it done.
Next year.
Or whatever. But I think that Jerry Jones finally did something right. Finally.
We got to give Dallas credit there.
But didn't wait till past the draft, past the start of free agency, past this into the summer when the cap is it's not in the favor of him anymore. He did it early, and now he can take advantage of the space that he's going to have left to go do other things. So great for him. You said Kyle Pitts. We were talking off. Kyle Pitts got the tag,
franchise tag. Kyle Pitts. That was a guy that we talked about on the show last week. I think it's also a great move. Look, they cut Kirk Cousins, I think yesterday or today. That came through the wire. So Atlanta, I don't know what Michael Penix's timeline from his injury recovery looks like, but they're either going to get another stopgap quarterback because Cousins was too much to pay, and they're going to tag Kyle Pitts, who actually, as the year went on, and we saw Atlanta be competitive in a lot of these late season games, he was the key cog after Drake London got hurt. It was all Kyle Pitts. So if Atlanta's going to have any success, you can't be losing a guy like that. So they're going to franchise him for this year, maybe work on a longer-term deal if he shows that he could do it again one more year. So great move for Atlanta as well, keeping that talent in the fold. And another one, Breece Hall, we talked about him getting tagged last week. The Jets are not looking in the business of letting him go, although I think they should.
They should let him go.
It sounds like he's going to get tagged as well. I don't know how happy he will be about that.
Well, then they could trade him and get assets for him.
Exactly. And look, they're a team right now that is collecting assets. You know, we're hearing about Aaron Glenn's going to call the defensive plays now because it didn't work out with some of their candidates they brought in. So the Jets are going to be, again, at the bottom.
It's just a dumpster
bottom
fire.
Of the NFL. Yeah, bottom of the NFL, like Browns level, just terrible.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
With Cousins being cut, where do you think he could go?
Man, listen, I mean, the same Jets we just talked about, because I don't know. Look,
I think that's actually a good fit for Kirk Cousins, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a really good fit. Stable quarterback. You could get the ball to your top players. Like,
you just need a guy to get you to when you're going to draft your QB in 2027, probably.
Exactly.
So that's what, like you said, Cousins can at least get the ball to his playmakers. That's what your team was lacking. You didn't have a quarterback that could get the ball to the playmakers. Justin Fields couldn't do it, and whoever else they brought in after that couldn't do it either. So
I mean, hell, the Browns could use Kirk Cousins too.
Yeah, I just think that they're really I thought Shador was going to be the guy they're going for, but I did hear the Browns are going to be in a QB market once again.
But
Like,
they have Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders.
and they got Watson's rights for whenever he returns
Well,
as
he's
well.
never coming back. So, like, let's just do that. You got to close the door on that.
Yeah. So another big thing that we've been hearing about is Max Crosby out of the Raiders, a team with the #1 pick, looking probably to collect assets, make cap space. Supposedly now I'm hearing that they're not planning on trading him, but they're always keeping the door open to listen. All you could do is take the phone calls. There's going to be a bunch of teams out there hearing that and trying to their best pre-draft to maybe trade for a pass rusher like Max Crosby. I would think.
I think if they get the right offer at the draft, I think he's gone. I don't think
Absolutely.
he wants to be. I don't think he wants to be there anymore. Let's be honest.
I don't think so. It's going to be a rebuild project. We know with Mendoza coming in there,
and then Mendoza's not throwing at the combine, which we've seen a lot of guys do that. But I think to me, like, all right, you want to throw your own guys, might make yourself look good. I think the combine actually that's what quarterbacks should be throwing because you're not throwing to your own guys. The Raiders aren't drafting Indiana receivers.
Right. But we've seen this before. I know we might disagree on this. I agree with you on the aspect that I hate when they do it. But we've seen other #1 picks or top QBs say, "Hey, come to my place, my setting, my guys. We're doing it on my terms." I get it. Thinks he probably doesn't look. He's probably like, "Look at my film. You don't need to see anything else." But I agree that they should go to the combine because, like you said, you're thrown into. Look, I know it's shorts, and t-shirts. But it's not your guys. Can you work on timing with a guy you just met? Let's see you throw to guys you never met before.
Right.
I agree with you on that aspect of it, Jimmy.
Right, and again, the combine shorts and t-shirts. I mean, I'm impressed with the guys that run the 40. Like,
yeah, me too.
Like those guys, that's really cool. But the rest of the stats, I really don't care about. Like I don't really care about bench press 225 pounds 25 times. It's impressive, but it's not going to do anything on a football field.
Absolutely. And a couple things before we'll do a free agency thing when it comes.
Yeah.
We're in combine season right now, but the Ravens center Tyler Lindenbaum, that's going to be a hot name to watch on the market.
Maybe he goes to the Giants.
Yeah, Giants are a team that I saw were interested. The Niners are going to need another lineman. There's a lot of teams. And then today the news dropped that Trent Williams and the Niners had a contract impasse. If the Niners lose Trent Williams, I mean, that offense is going to be completely different. When he's out of the lineup, that team struggles. Protection, running the ball. So I know he's getting up there in age, but he's still a top 5 left tackle in the NFL. So the Niners have to find a way to make that work, or any number of teams in the NFL are going to be looking for a left tackle. And then what do you think about this news that the Chicago Bears potentially moving to Indiana, a cornerstone franchise of the league, cannot leave Chicago, Jimmy?
No.
That would be terrible. Going to Indiana, what are we talking about here? That would be terrible.
What are we doing here? First of all, the Chicago team, they need to get it done. I think this is a ploy to get a new stadium built in Chicago.
Absolutely.
That. This is like moving a franchises. That's the last thing to get the money that you need to build a new stadium, even though they just renovated.
Yeah,
it feels like renovated.
They should renovate. There's a lot of stadiums like Kansas City's going to get a new one. I think is what they're talking about. By 2030, they're going to have a new stadium, which is going to be in Kansas City, Kansas, instead of Kansas City, Missouri. But Chicago leaving Chicago does not feel right. It's
no.
Think of the NHL in the original 6. It's like that. It's an original franchise of the NFL. I don't like it. I understand Illinois, the city is in debt or whatever it is, but I don't like this because you would lose a big portion of your fan base, I feel like. And that's a major market. Chicago, LA, New York are the big markets.
You don't want to lose a team out of a major TV market.
Yeah, it would just be crazy.
Why do you think the Rams went back to LA?
Right, I know, because St. Louis was not cutting it with the TV deals.
No, and why do you think the Chargers went from San Diego to LA?
Exactly. The NFL was dying to get back to LA. Right. They got 2 teams there now. If Chicago leaves, look, I'm guessing they'll still keep the name Chicago because it'll still be close enough. But the city of Chicago losing that,
I think they're putting it like on like the water and some like northwest port of Indiana. It's like no,
right?
They belong in They belong in
Chicago.
Chicago. The Chicago wins. Like the play in
Soldier
Chicago.
Field. Yeah, because if they move, they're talking about a dome, and this is what I hate. In about 20 years from now, Jimmy, all these stadiums are going to have domes. You're going to take all the elements out of the game. Look at the NFL playoffs this year. Majority of the games were outdoors.
It was great. I loved it.
It was great. Football has got to be in the elements.
Also, shout out to my pops because he always tell me when we watched football, he loved watching the game in the mud, in the rain, in the snow, the ugly football. Like you couldn't see anything. The dirt, the jerseys became dirty. Like
that's real football.
That's real football. Like
that's real football.
Taking the elements away from the game just changes the game.
100%. Your dad was spot on. That's how I fell in love with the game too, man. Just watching.
I get it. There's certain spots you can't have outdoor stadiums. Like
Minnesota.
Too
cold.
Well, yeah, but they have a baseball stadium that's outside. So
that's a good point.
Like what are we? Like what are we doing? I was thinking of more like North Dakota, where the Bison play. Like that, they have an indoor stadium. They have to. It's like it's stupid weather there. So
I understand Minneapolis having a dome.
But the problem is, you go to like Wyoming and Idaho with the blue turf. They're playing in elements in college football, and the pros can't play in the elements. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't like taking away the elements from the game. I'm with that. And before we get off the NFL, I think the tush push is going to survive because it seems like
we thought it was going to be gone. But
no one brought it up.
No one brought it up.
Drew wants to point out that just because the Eagles were bad at it this year, now all of a sudden nobody cares to ban it. So I think Drew's
got a point. By the way, we got to get Drew. I want to get his comments one day, real quick before because this kind of ties into wrestling.
Yeah,
I do not want to see Pacquiao Mayweather 2. 10 years, 15 years, too late.
Do we really need to see that again?
I don't need to. First of all, the first fight was garbage.
Yeah, it was.
All right, the first fight was bad because it was already 5 years.
They were already too late. Yeah, they were too late.
It was already too late.
Yeah.
And Mayweather was dodging Pacquiao in his prime. So, like,
for real. I mean, that's what he did. He did it his entire prime.
He did it his entire prime. He dodged Pacquiao. I don't need to see the rematch. Like, I really don't. I
don't either.
I don't need to see it.
And if we do see it, it's going to be one of these like watered down 3-minute exhibitions. I mean, we're not getting a real boxing fight, are we? At this point,
I have no idea because again, all these Netflix fights seem like they're staged.
I agree. They really. I mean, yeah. When you got the Paul brothers being a part of this stuff, like you don't know what's on the up and up. They're just trying to make money here.
Right. And again, if it was a real fight, like I don't need to. Even if it was a real, like if it was like Mayweather Promotions doing it or one of the big boxing, I'm like, still don't need to see it. 15 years, way too late. 15
Agreed,
years, way too late.
Way too late. Agreed. I love Drew's thoughts on that too.
I would love Drew's thoughts on that because, like, I know they hit those guys over at Two Beer. Shout out because free promotion for those guys. But always. But I know they covered the boxing, and I'm interested to hear what those guys got to say because to me it's way too late.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm gonna ask them actually to talk about this for sure.
Yeah, so that's my fan question to those guys. I want to know their thoughts on Pacquiao Mayweather 2 because you just heard my thoughts on it. So
love it.
But speaking of staying in the sports entertainment realm, the professional wrestling realm that we love to do, talk about Elimination Chamber. Hey, ties in the NFL, Chicago, right? We're talking about Chicago before. Elimination Chambers in Chicago. CM Punk's going to be there. AJ Lee's going to be there. Titles are going to be on the line. The chamber matches. Find a pay-per-view before, or PLE, whatever you want to call it, heading into WrestleMania. By the way, I flipped on ESPN on Sunday night.
Yeah.
And the Royal Rumble was on.
I was going through the TV guide and I'm like, wait, wrestling's on ESPN? I love it. I mean, it's awesome that when was the last time you're flipping through and you see wrestling? It reminded me of when AWA's greatest moments.
Yeah, they were on like ESPN Classic.
On ESPN great. Classic. I was like, oh, whoa, Royal Rumble's on.
I actually put it on and had it on as background noise because I was like, there's nothing on. So
there was literally nothing on.
I was like, all right, let me listen to the Royal Rumble. I already know what happens, but
yeah,
I'm like, all right.
And listen, I'll never get used to calling it a PLE, Jimmy.
No,
So
it's
it's
a
okay if
pay-per-view.
you.
It's
Yeah.
a pay-per-view. It's a pay-per-view.
But you got to start with, and I know we're gonna.
First
we're
of
gonna
all,
talk,
it feels like a pay-per-view, by the way.
Yeah.
Considering like all the different levels of ESPN you need to buy.
At this point, yeah, it's like if you don't have this package, you got to spend the $30. If you don't got this, you got to do that. You're jumping through hoops just to watch the wrestling, man. This is not. Don't make it more difficult for wrestling fans to watch your product, man.
Dude, I just call up the pay-per-view company and be like, "Yo, I'll just pay you $55."
Or you get that website you got and watch
Yeah.
it right there.
That's a secret.
It's a secret website. But
That's
I think
a secret.
we
bring back the WWE Network, $9.99, baby.
On today, I think today or yesterday was the anniversary of that dropping in 2014. That was a glorious moment because that original network. Yeah, that original network is untouchable to me. You could just go, pick whatever you want, easily accessed, and watch everything and anything. I think I watched World War III, 1996. That was the first thing I watched.
That was good. Yo, old WCW.
I went to old WCW stuff, I think.
Yeah, I think before, because I think they didn't have the ECW library yet. So
no, they didn't. Not yet.
So not yet. But like I think I watched like an old WrestleMania or something. But we're heading to WrestleMania season. It's the Chamber. We got Punk and Balor World Championship match. That should be a really good match. They set up a lot of things on Raw. I felt like the Raw crowd after the highlights I watched kind of dead. It felt like it was.
They were dead all night, Jimmy. Atlanta was not good.
I know they said like the company said that the crowd was dead after the Bronson Reed injury, which we'll get to in a minute.
They were dead all night.
They were dead all night. Yo, told you, New York crowd, come this way.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the Reed injury because I think that's where we need to start if we're talking about the story of the Chamber. This Vision stable cursed, officially, I think, dead in the water. If you're telling me Bronson Reed now, a bicep tear that's probably going to take him 4 to 6 months to recover, destroys his WrestleMania. Braun Breaker was already out probably until Mania with the hernia, and Rollins was working his way back. The three main guys that this Vision stable was built on with Paul Heyman since the moment they faked Seth Rollins' injury have gone down one by one by one. Jimmy, is this stable cursed from the beginning? Was it because this seemed like it was going nowhere from the get-go, or was it the karma as well that added to this as well? You know?
I think it was going nowhere to begin with because no one really bought into it.
Right.
But I think really what escalated was when everybody got upset backstage when they faked Seth Rollins' injury so he could win the world title at SummerSlam. As Money in the Bank, like, I don't think you needed to do all of that. I think faking injuries just leads to bad things. Look, everybody can say, well, you know, Bret Hart did this and this and this. He never faked an injury. He played possum. There's a difference.
Oh, it's different. Psychology. It's way different.
Psychology is way different. This is we're going to fake an injury and we're going to fool everybody to thinking he's really hurt and he's not. And we got to kayfabe the crap out of it. And then he really gets hurt. And then the next guy gets hurt, and then the next guy gets hurt, and now this Vision.
You're down to Logan Paul and Austin Theory.
Like, this doesn't do me anything. And now Paul Heyman's back with Brock Lesnar. So, like, I never liked the idea of faking the injury. I had people telling me it was never going to work. I had people telling me that people in the backstage were very upset. And here we are. The three main players of this group may all miss WrestleMania.
It's unbelievable. It's unfathomable. I mean. They were
Bronson Reed was supposed to be in the Chamber.
Yeah, he was supposed to win this match. They called the audible, which I like that they're doing now. They're calling audibles if guys get hurt. They're not like letting the guy who's supposed to win the match. So Jey Uso wins this thing. Clearly Reed was supposed to win this because you look at the Chamber now. There's pretty much it's all baby faces. Trick Williams is a heel that gets face reactions. So we got
Austin. He's like Austin in '97.
Yeah, Rock in '98 is what they're comparing him to, which I like that. But, yeah, unfortunate for Bronson Reed because I thought now this would be his time to step up. He goes down. And now what do you do with this storyline? Because you've had this masked man attacker coming at the group at Logan Paul. I mean, I've been saying it should be Bad Bunny at this point.
I think that's what you should do. I think it should be Bad Bunny and just set the match.
Dissolve the group because unless you're going to go like with a big – stinker. I got nothing against Grayson Waller, but Grayson Waller reveals himself to take out his former partner Austin Theory. You might actually have to go that route because this stable is done. I feel like There's
Yeah.
nothing more to do here.
No, I mean, I like the idea of it being Bad Bunny, but I also think if Reed won the match, I think he probably wouldn't have made it to the chamber anyway with the attacker, because I think that's probably what they were going to do with the chamber, probably knock Reed out of the chamber match.
With the guy, with the masked man.
Yeah, with the masked man anyway. So I think, like, to me, I think you just do whatever with it. I mean, it's like, and we got this big crate going to be at Elimination Chamber too, so who knows what that's going to be. And if WWE is just about moments, then there's going to be a moment of revealing a guy. Just make it Bad Bunny at this point. Like, to me, just make it Bad Bunny and set the match with Logan Paul for WrestleMania.
It's unfortunate because on top of, like, the injuries that they've been dealt with, the creative hasn't been that good. The creative,
it stinks.
It's been all over the place. So not only are they panicking about what are we going to do, because we know original plans probably called for Braun Breaker was going to get a big time push. Probably was going to win the
original
Rumble.
match at WrestleMania was Braun Breaker versus CM Punk for the World Championship.
We know that's probably where they were headed. They had to pivot because of the injury. Roman Reigns coming back.
Well, also they pivoted because the quote unquote ticket sales weren't good.
And they pivoted because on Cody Roman 3, because Trips think could be too much drama. Both guys wouldn't want to lose to each other. So there's some real life stuff going on there as well from what they're telling us. So it's unfortunate that this whole Vision stable turned the way it did, because it just destroyed all the plans that they had for it.
And that's because they don't know how to create new stars. That's another
that's a
problem.
Good point.
That's been a problem going back to the Vince days. Like,
although I will say, I hope with what I've seen recently with Obafemi, Trick Williams, and a couple of other people, that they're maybe turning the corner and saying, all right, we're going to actually, like, build these guys properly. Because now Trick is in this chamber. Oba is going to get this feud with Rusev, and hopefully Oba's the guy that challenges Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, because they put that out there, who's Brock wrestling at Mania. So I think that they could turn the corner here maybe and build these guys properly and do it the right way.
You go back to what worked. You always go back to what worked, not the Daniel Bryan of 2013. That's a rarity because the crowd pushed Bryan to be in the WrestleMania main event because they didn't want Batista and Randy Orton as the main event. Like, the fans told you who needed to be there.
Yep.
You can't keep doing it. You can't just keep making the babyface always lose all the time, because when it's time to win, the fans don't care. I go back to it. This is why the King of the Ring was so important in the early 90s and into the mid 90s, because it was a stepping stone for a guy for world championship. It pushed somebody. It made them legitimate. It gave them the run that they needed, whether it was Brett, whether it was Owen, whether it was Austin, Trips, guys like that. Yeah, obviously there were some stinkers in there, some winners that didn't really do anything. I mean, but like, you could argue Ken Shamrock actually got some pushes after that. But, like, to me, Austin catapulted himself because he cut the promo at the King of the Ring. He wins the King of the Ring. Like, he set himself up to be good. You work with the right guys. You have the matches, the promos, the vignettes, the packages, everything. That's how you build a character, and how you build a top babyface or a top heel is getting heat, and not just heat all the time on a babyface, but the babyface has to go over. And when Austin cut that promo in 96, we're like, oh, crap, look what's going to happen here. That's why I think you go to the chamber, right? You say to yourself, okay, well, if it's all about moments, then you maybe switch the world title here. I don't think they will, but to me, that would be a play. To me, you go in the chamber, a guy like Trick Williams should be winning a chamber, or LA Knight. Like, to me, that's the direction you go in right now. You want to build new stars, because people are getting to a point, like they got to a point with Drew, is when's LA Knight going to be in the big one? Are they ever going to pull the trigger on LA Knight?
Yeah.
I think it's time that they do it.
Yeah, and another guy that I forgot that's in this chamber, Javon Evans, another guy. So
yeah, he's not ready yet, but I'm just saying he's
they're letting him.
Him.
Yeah, he just got a big win over a veteran and Kofi Kingston
like Orton.
on Monday night.
Felt like Orton in 03 at SummerSlam. Orton was their guy coming up, and they just put him in the chamber.
Right. So I look, he got a nice win over a veteran on Monday night. Clearly, they want him to do big things in this chamber. They think highly of Trick Williams, who we've been talking him up since NXT. This is my guy here.
Remember when we came on here, did Bound for Glory? That guy was over. Not Bound for Glory.
Yeah, we went to Slammiversary. Yeah.
Slammiversary. He was
Man,
over.
He was over at Slammiversary. NXT, he was killing it. I'm like, watch out for this guy when he gets called up. He's already doing media on ESPN and all the news stations. It's amazing, and he's going to be the face of the company one day. I could see it. But for now, if you want something interesting, like you and I were booking it, LA Knight, let him win this chamber, go after Drew, get Cody and Jacob in the heated, some kind of like no disqualification.
Just give me a street fight.
Right. Give me a Mania. Like, I feel like those two have good chemistry, but it sounds like they're still unsure, and we're going to get a multi-man possible six-pack challenge at Mania. So something fishy's going down in this chamber. We might not have a clear-cut winner, probably.
That's stupid. Like, that's awful creative.
It's because they don't know what to do, Jimmy.
Well, then hire us because we'll tell you what to do.
Look, it went from it's going to be Cody and Drew, then we might have Jacob in this thing, to now they're going to shake it up and make it a multi-man match. And look, if it is a multi-man match, maybe that's our hope for LA Knight winning this thing. Give me a six-pack challenge. LA Knight somehow pulls it out and beats somebody. I mean, how great would that be?
I'd rather have a one-on-one for the belt at WrestleMania.
For sure. I agree, for sure.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been some great triple threat matches for the World Championship. That's how Ray got his first title when he beat Kurt Angle and Randy Orton at WrestleMania 22. Don't get me wrong. I think it's one of the best triple threat matches I saw. Obviously, you know what happened to WrestleMania 20 with triple threat for the world title. I prefer it one-on-one, but if it's going to be multi-man, I would rather have a triple threat or a four-way.
No, I'm with you on that. I don't think it's going to go that way. I don't know who they plan to walk out of that WrestleMania as the champ. It's going to be interesting. I don't know if they're planning on having to beat Cody again, or we're going to go somewhere else. So it's clear that they don't know, have a bigger picture, and that's why guys like Paul Heyman in creative say we got to look like far ahead. We got to think far ahead. We can't just be booking show to show with no.
But that was Vince's problem towards the end.
Right, Vince was not thinking for the long term.
Like when Triple H took on first, he was booking for the long term. But I think the issue was too is that Bloodline storyline went on for too long, and it carried the company for so long that they never invested in anything else outside of that to build for now.
Well said, Jimmy. They neglected pretty much all other areas, and this is what happened. They thought they were going to be riding that for so long. You know, it got them through 4 or 5 years, and now you got nothing on the back end, and you're feeling the after effects of that now, right?
Because no one believes in Solo as a leader. The MFT group is really like nothing.
You made Sami Zayn a joke again.
Yeah.
LA Knight's losing all the time. I mean, you're taking guys that you built up, and you're just making them look like losers. So, and people wonder why, nobody's invested is because the storyline, the creative has not been that good. John Cena's gone now. He's not going to help you out. He's not going to be there to help out every single time. So
no,
you need something to shake it up.
And this was the issue coming out of Ruthless Aggression. You had Batista, Orton, Cena, all those guys, but you didn't invest in the next wave of guys. Like Punk came along and saved your butt in 2011.
He did, he really did.
He saved your butt in 2011. Like he saved the company. Yeah. They turned Roman heel coming out of COVID. Saved the company.
Save the company, yeah.
Like this is right now, the era we're in, if people don't remember, this is end of Vince going in COVID. They just didn't know what they were doing.
Absolutely. And that was such a dark time.
That was awful wrestling. That was just awful wrestling.
There was a couple years there where it was not good at all. And I don't want to see that. I don't want that. I want the product to be good because they got so much good talent
here. Too many old guys on. It's too buddy. And I know that's what the wrestling business is. But it's the guys that they have there just don't know what they're doing.
I think right now CM Punk is doing a good job of keeping the interest, right? And I think now that Roman's going to be full-time on Raw, hopefully we get some good promo battles and some back and forth. I'm going to be honest. I think the right thing to do would probably keep the belt on CM Punk. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I don't think
Roman needs a title.
Yeah, I think Roman winning it, things will get stale, I think. I don't want to say that Roman is stale. I think where do you go from there? I think CM Punk's got to keep that title. Let him have a nice long run and wrestle some guys here, some younger guys throughout the summer. I think that's the key, I think.
I
have
think
Rome,
the summer of Punk. This is the summer of Punk. Like you need
another. I mean, I'm good with another summer of Punk. I love that.
But he's good on the mic. He makes guys that he goes against better, elevates their game. You could elevate a lot of young talent with him.
I think you keep this thing on him. If Braun Breaker comes back from this injury, keep this thing on Punk and let Braun Breaker beat him at SummerSlam. I mean,
I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, you just take a rain check on Mania because he was hurt, and you do it at SummerSlam. And CM Punk keeping that title, I think, is good for Monday Night Raw because Roman might not be there all the time, even after he wins it.
Right, and also like, I'm be honest, like I'm kind of over Roman Reigns. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, look, I'm not. You're not. I don't think you're saying anything shocking. I'm not gonna say I'm over him. What I'm saying is I think he needs a refresh. Right?
Yeah.
He's not
like the
OT.
Tribal Chief is good.
It's over. Yeah, but that's
over,
done.
But the stable's done.
Yeah, you need something different than the OT. You're not the OTC anymore. You're not the Tribal Chief. There's no bloodline. You need something on the flip side of this, and I think he needs a refresh.
Yeah, he really does. I think he needs a character refresh, to be honest. So
and another thing that people are down on, why are ticket sales down? AJ Styles said it now. We'll touch on his retirement and his what happened on Raw, but he said these PLEs don't feel special anymore because they're all 2 nights. They're all the same. There's nothing important that's happening to the point where a WrestleMania is not important enough for you to wrestle at. That's not a good sign, Jimmy.
No, I've been saying this for how many years since they went to 2 nights. I understood COVID.
It's been the last 2 years, basically.
But I understood the COVID 2 nights because you needed to give people something to watch. There was nothing on. Yep. But the second night was god awful. Like it really was. And I understood coming out of COVID fine. Last year was not good. 2 nights was not good.
No.
SummerSlam does not need to be 2 nights. Survivor Series should never be 2 nights. The Royal Rumble should never be 2 nights. And WrestleMania should never be 2 nights.
Yeah.
It's 1 night pay-per-view.
It waters it down.
It waters it down. First of all, the reason they went to 2 nights was because WrestleMania 35 went way too long with too many matches. Yep. Solve it. Put a 7-card WrestleMania together that's 3 hours. Done.
Done deal.
Done deal. Like, you don't need you have a WrestleMania weekend with a Raw and a SmackDown. You can find places for people to wrestle. Yeah.
It used to feel special. Like, oh man, I can't wait for the night after the PLE, see what's going to happen. But now everything's so bunched together. SmackDown, night 1, night 2, Raw. It's hard to get the magical moments or anything exciting to happen. You know, when you're all bunched up like that, there's a lot of creative, and these guys get burned out and don't have good stories to tell. So that's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. And the ticket prices are out of control. And in WrestleMania in Vegas, I'll say it again, probably for the umpteenth time, just doesn't work. Just doesn't work.
Well, on the women's side, what are we thinking with so it seems like we're going to get Liv and Stephanie, which is good.
That'll be good. I feel like Tiffy and Jade will probably do it again, run it back one more time.
Yeah. I don't know how exciting that's going to be.
Unless you go Kiana James there.
Oh, throw a monkey wrench in it? I would love that.
Throw a monkey wrench into it.
Yeah, it seems like we're going to get Becky and AJ. That's happening at Chamber, right?
Yeah, but it feels like something shenanigans are going to go on where that goes to WrestleMania.
We'll get that to Mania, and then I don't know what the deal is with the women's tag titles. It seems like the bells might be in a mix, Rhea and Io. There might be a multi-women's tag match that we're going to get probably.
Yeah, we always get that. I feel like Punk's going to retain the belt.
I hope he does. Against Finn Balor. Balor?
Yeah.
Although I think we both said that it would be exciting if he drops it and wins it back the next night on Raw. Just make something interesting.
Just make something different. Like, do something different. So, I mean, am I excited for the Chamber? Yeah, we'll watch it because we're going to some indie wrestling that night.
That's right.
Yo, shout out to my guy Poppy, who's the real world champion, by the way, ISPW Wrestling.
The real champion.
That's going to be a fun night to catch some indie wrestling. But I also think, like, you look at it, you mentioned AJ Styles. That was an awesome tribute, by the way. Yo, Creed, bringing it back. Creed. That was awesome.
As soon as I heard the first note, I'm like, I thought, we're watching the Attitude Era with My Sacrifice here, man.
That was great, man. That was awesome. and to see all the TNA highlights of his career, like
That was cool.
that was awesome. Because that's where he got started. And the Undertaker coming out, American Badass, like that was cool. And to put him in the WWE Hall of Fame, that
What do
was
you
awesome.
think of the Undertaker now? His official role, because he did this with Stephanie. He is now the guy that comes out and lets you know you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. I think
I like it. I like it.
It makes sense. I saw a tweet. It's like, hey, an Undertaker is one that, obviously we know what an Undertaker does in real life.
Yeah.
So he is someone that lets you know you're coming to your final resting place, which is the Hall of Fame. And AJ Styles clearly was surprised by this because you could see it on his face. Taker comes out, he's like, "We got unfinished business," and he's like, "What?" And then he's like, when the phrase, if you see me coming, you're already gone, but I'm changing it. He had no clue that he was about to be inducted into the Hall. Well, told that you're going to be inducted. His kids seem to be in on it. So I thought that was a really well done segment. They got him good with that because we all thought, "What's Undertaker doing here?"
Yeah, we gotta run it back one more time from the COVID match. That would have been
cool.
That was a good match. Like
it was.
Like Taker talks about, like, if Styles giving him his last match was like that cinematic match was good.
Right.
One of the best to do it.
And I love that we got to see him at TNA last summer. That was awesome. So glad we got to see him there, be a part of that. Come out one more time. The I am.
That was
love
great.
that. Thanks. Like 10 years, Poetic debuted at Rumble 16, career over Rumble 26. I thought maybe like he was actually going to do something with TNA here, but I guess
maybe
he might still, but it seems like he was waiting for Atlanta's hometown crowd to put the gloves down, and that's a wrap. So one of the best of all time to ever do it, man. Great, awesome that we got to see him wrestle. It was phenomenal.
Well, I think, and he'll go into the TNA Hall of Fame at Bound for Glory probably, and
as well, yeah.
I mean, he deserves. it.
Cool that we got Kazarian and Abyss on Monday Night Raw television.
Kazarian, Abyss, Robert Roode was there.
Jeremy Borash.
Borash was there. Like a bunch of TNA guys were. Well, Consequences Creed. Well,
Consequences Creed was there.
Consequences Creed was there.
Yep.
There was a lot of guys from Fortune in that stable that was there.
I love it.
That was great. Great to see. AJ Styles. Wrestling is a good spot, and if, like we always say, if you're not feeling WWE, go over to AEW. Check that out. They're in a good spot right now. Got a lot of good matches coming up for Revolution.
Yep.
I mean, look, is WWE stale a little bit? Sure, but doesn't mean it isn't all bad. I think SmackDown being 3 hours is too long. I really think what's hurting, and I'll stay on this, and I'll say it again. I really think what's hurting wrestling right now is it's not on television.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about this from the time the Netflix stuff happened. We're like, it's a little different.
I don't like it. Like, I'll be honest. Like, it's not on USA. Like, that. I know it was on TNN for years and whatever, and Spike, but it was still on TV.
Yeah, we talked about it at one point in this program. We said, whenever this Netflix deal ends, let's see if they decide to go back to cable television or just back on television, right? I mean, let's see what happens.
I think Raw needs to be on television.
Yeah, I agree with that. I get why they did it. They got big money out of this.
Yeah, but
this, you could pinpoint that as the start of a little bit of like losing some of the edge they had that they built from 22 to 24. Started going downhill at the beginning of 25. They botched some of Cena's retirement tour.
Whether he's gonna say it or not,
we'll say it for him. We'll say
it for him.
We're hoping here 26 leads to something better. It hasn't really. It's been rocky. We'll say that rocky start with some of the injuries, creative decisions. But I'm hoping CM Punk Roman can ignite something, and I'm hoping on the other side they pull out some surprises. It'd be nice to get some surprises with the title and change things up a little bit here.
Yeah, I agree. That's a perfect spot to end everything when we're talking about the wrestling here as well. Shout out to AJ Styles. Road to WrestleMania here on the NightCap recap. We'll be here for you. NFL Combine talk, draft talk coming up, free agency, talked Olympics, talked a lot of things. Jim Biringer, Teddy Repantis here on the NightCap recap, specialty media. Follow along, like, subscribe, do the whole nonchalant stuff, do it all. We'll be back again. Take care.